Welcome back to the Jagged Edge. I would like to apologize for our extended bye week. Personally, work had me going 9 days in a row, so honestly, I had no energy. So I do apologize to Javal. He kind of understands. He actually had to go back home to Broward, so he actually couldn't go to the game on Sunday. What a game that you didn't go
When
to.
you say extended bye week, do you mean for us, like the podcast, or for the team as well?
Yes, yes. Do we really want to talk about what happened on Sunday? I guess I'll
I
talk
didn't
about
watch
it.
it, so it's
Oh,
out of
you did
sight,
it.
out of mind. Well, the only parts I saw was the snippets because I still had Red Zone, so I was able to
Okay.
pull up like the parts of the game. I wasn't able to watch everything on Red Zone. I just used the Fox app. So,
Okay.
but yeah, after like the first 3 minutes, I just went from the Fox app to Red Zone. I was like, okay, I'll just have Bree tell me like what happens on the car, if anything good happens. And there was nothing good that happened to report. So it was
Oh,
out
you're
of sight, out of
driving.
mind.
Hey, didn't happen. Don't know what you're talking about.
Thankfully, I didn't crash the car. I was very tempted to multiple times. It was
Not
just,
for Bree's sake. Don't do that to her.
yeah. I mean,
Don't
she
don't
also
do that.
she also lost the dirty horny sex man, so it was not a great day for both of
Oh
our
no,
team.
not dirty
Um,
horty sex man.
But yeah, it was just not a great day. But I didn't get to watch it, so out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. Hey, lucky you. I was there in the trenches, in the middle of the Nick Wright Casamigos tailgate bonanza. I don't know how that happened. Shout out Dunn and Drew. $500. I mean, Jesus
Nick
Christ.
Wright wasted, not wasted, but
He didn't waste.
at least
He
at least
salutes. Yeah.
he's a forever ally of Jacksonville. If Nick Wright ever shows up in Jacksonville, he can get like the $500 back. Shout
Yeah,
out Nick
no.
Wright.
Shout out to Nick Wright. But yeah, I only ended up on the Casamigos table. We'll just talk about the tailgate because honestly, that's basically what's all we're talking about. I only went on the Casamigos table once because I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm not gonna get drunk. I only
You
landed on
should
one.
have been
I know.
hammered.
I messaged my family. I messaged in the family chat. But yeah, I should have been. I should have drank more tequila. This is bullshit. I think the worst part is we were still in it kind of at halftime because it was only 13-3. And I was like, all right, we gotta stop. We gotta stop on the first drive of the third quarter. We can be going. It was like third and
Narrator.
short,
They did not get a
like cover
stop.
zero blitz. It was Devin Lloyd on George Kittle. Like interfere with the man or something. I don't know. If you're not looking for the football, at least just fucking don't let him go. And he fucking mossed the shit out of him and like walked into the end zone. And I was like, I hate my life.
Don't we
Um,
all? Don't we all?
so it was just I honestly just thought as someone that was there for 3 quarters in like 2 minutes, we were dominated in the trenches offensively and defensively, especially the interior. Poor Trevor couldn't have any time. Poor ETN didn't have any holes to run through. Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead in the interior, and then the freaking Bosa and Chase Young in the edges. It was just hell on earth for Trevor and the offense for the entire time. But out of sight, out of mind. You didn't get to see it. I got to see all of it.
So
Shout out
sorry.
to the
I
Two
am
Dads
so
tailgate as well.
sorry.
Shout out to Two Dads tailgate as well. They had Filipino food along with some more hibachi at the tailgate on Sunday. They were awesome as well. I still gotta send them money through Venmo. It's just been broke boy era since the New Orleans trip, honestly.
Still financially recovering. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
All them beignets just drained our wallets.
yeah, I mean, I guess the Jaguars too. I mean, Steelers game they won, so fair enough. But it was just it was a
I'm
little miserable these past couple days, and it didn't really get any better the day after, did it?
are do we have to talk about the situation, the other situation?
I
As if
mean,
this week
it's that's the
couldn't
thing.
get any more chaotic.
When it rains, it pours. I mean, it was overcast Sunday, but I mean, it just started to rain even more like late Monday night. We got to talk about it because it's all we're really talking about right now.
I mean, so yes, if you live under a rock, former starting receiver who has not seen the field since like what, week 5?
Since the second London game, yes.
minor battery charge. I mean, I heard 1010XL say that it was like a child custody exchange, and then like he took his like baby mama's chain, and then so I mean, obviously, I don't want to read too much of the situation unless we know what happens. I'm not a person who I don't like people who abuse just people in general, but like abusing women is not great. So
I
I know
shouldn't laugh. That's a very serious situation, but it's no legit.
we have to have
Yeah,
a
we
little
can't.
bit of seriousness this podcast at all times, though. It's fair to laugh. I
It's the
mean,
still. It's just when it rains, it pours. It's you don't want the
we'll
distractions
see.
after a loss like that. It's
Especially for a
just
player who
yeah.
wasn't, really like obviously he's on the practice field, but he wasn't playing and contributing. So it is a little just
Not needed distracted after a very, very tough week for the football
fucking.
team.
So we will see what happens with Zay. I mean, in an ideal world, it was just all big one misunderstanding, but at the same time, like there's a gray always. It's not just black and white. There's always a gray area. So I'm just gonna try to leave it at that. I don't know if Zay Jones will get suspended by the league, if he's actually even if he's healthy to play, if he'll actually play the rest of this year. Very much up in the air, but it's just
It's
as if
just
the
an
Jags
unneeded,
as if
yeah.
the Jags couldn't stop shooting themselves in the foot on the field, they just proceed to do it off the field as well. So it's always the Jags to just do something stupid.
And it's crazy because we talked about all this negative and we're somehow 6-3. It's just the way
I
that,
don't
yeah,
understand.
yeah. It's
The
just like
sky is
one, yeah.
falling,
The sky's
and we're
falling. We're six
we're
and three.
three
We
games
still
over
control our
500.
and we still control our destiny. So that's the if you want to pump sunshine like I usually am on this podcast, it's tough because you're coming off of a freaking 31-point loss, I think. So I hate to be the sunshine pumper, but uh
I mean,
beat the Titans. Fuck the Titans. So you
that's
don't
all I
want
care
yeah,
about.
it's
That
all it's
is
we're on to the Titans, even
this
though
point,
everything
like
sucks, but fuck the Titans.
between like having their asses kicked at home and then Houston playing well, who by the way also kicked our asses at home.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of now or never for this team. I'm not gonna wave the red flag after last week's game because there's not gonna be many front fours that are as just as good as.
Dominant, yeah, and
But at
good.
the same time, like the Titans' defensive line is also so pretty good, and even last year,
They
I
gave
think
us, yeah.
both games, ETN averaged like 2.5 yards a carry. Like we just cannot run on them at all. We could throw on them, but will throwing matter if you don't have time to throw, which has been a big theme this year. Just when Trevor doesn't get the ball out quick, it's like almost always a pressure. So
I remember reading before recording that win rates on both the rushing and the passing between the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive line this season both rank at 31st, which would combine for the worst offensive line in the NFL this season. It has not looked good, and it really just reared its ugly head last Sunday. Couldn't get a single touchdown. How do they add in a fire truck siren for every touchdown if we don't even ring
don't
it
even get.
once?
I
Not
think
even to hear it
it's
once.
it was that was the curse. That was literally the curse. As soon as they had like the new addition, like something bad is happening in this game.
Do you believe in
So
terrible towel curse? I'll say fuck the
it just
Steelers. No, I don't believe in that bullshit. Will they make me believe? We'll find out. I don't believe in that. I also don't believe that Trevor Lawrence is a bad quarterback. I hate hearing it within our fan base, and I hate hearing it within national media as well. It's just a combination of coaching. Yeah, Trevor does deserve some of the blame, but when
I
I
mean
was like when I'm watching on the in the stands, especially when he tried to make a play outside, there's nobody open. Like I get you want him to throw away the ball and not take a sack, but like realistically, what do you want to do? Like stop the time so they can score another 7 to 14 points, or just take a sack and 40 seconds go off the clock? Like I don't know. It's a lot of frustration. I know they would probably be the same in the locker room after. I think Foye said it best. The NFL humbles you quick, and they were humbled to all hell on Sunday.
I'm just how like the Dolphins, they score 70 points, go to Buffalo, lose bad. I mean, you have to just have a short-term mentality, short-term memory, just kind of you have to learn from your mistakes, but you can't dwell on them too much or else you'll never be able to overcome your mistakes. So I just the one thing for me that I was hopeful after the bye we would see some signs of like improvement. Why does this team just find the dumbest ways to shoot themselves in the foot? It's just the turnovers. That's the one part where
It's like when you pass midfield, we have to clench our assholes because they feels like it's a mistake waiting to happen. I
at
hate
least
this feeling.
once. I was just thinking back to what game have they not turned the ball over for, and I feel like I don't remember if they did turn over in the Chiefs game. It didn't matter. They didn't only score 9 points. So if they did
We
turn
did.
over,
We
that
did.
oh well, yeah, the fumble. Yeah, see, outside of
It
the
was all
Falcons
inside.
game,
It feels like it's every time we turn over the ball, it's like inside the 50 as well.
I'm pretty sure I need to. I don't know the exact
We did a
number, but I
turnover
saw
on downs against the Falcons, so we didn't actually like turn it over, like, fumble or interception or anything like that.
think the Jags lead the league in turnovers inside opponent's territory, which if it sounds exactly real. So I just it's not like a practice thing. Like it's not. I'm pretty sure Doug and they're always tell the team to improve on turnovers. They've working on it all year, and it never comes through. Ever since like the first Colts game and that stupid like fumble touchdown, I should have just known that like win or lose, there will be stupid turnovers. So like when they overcome them, it's like there's room to improve on. But just seeing like the continual
Especially
turnover,
after the bye week, and it's still happening. It's like, my God, when will this fucking stop, or will it ever stop? Are we
I'm
just
scared.
what? Yeah,
We're gonna be like 11-6. We could be 11-6 and lead the league in like dumb turnovers still somehow. That would be so Jags. Like, I, at what point? Because turnovers, it's not even so much for terribly unlucky turnovers because the defense is still getting turn. I mean, they didn't get one last week, but the defense is still. Well, did they force the sack fumble? I think I saw it was like a sack fumble, or is that like just a pass?
I it wasn't.
Either
I
way, it
don't.
doesn't
I don't.
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
We
matter.
don't
We were
have to
blown
remember.
out. Yeah.
But like the defense is getting turnovers at a high rate, but the offense is also turning the ball over at a high rate. So I'm just, is this just some curse? Like we have to get takeaways to give take. I don't know what it is, but it's just so frustrating. Like just watching this, not even the same mistakes
I
because
think I don't know. It
it
just
feels
feels
like a
like
different
helpless.
mistake.
It's like helplessness sometimes on offense. And especially since, yeah, you kind of alluded to it earlier. The Texans are starting to win their football games and their rookie quarterback's feeling hot, like 2 straight weeks where he had to come back in the final drive of the game and to lead the Texans to victory. And they're one game back. And we don't want to look ahead because we got Titans week this week, but the week after, the Texans, if they continue to keep rolling, I don't know who they have this Sunday, but they get to face
That
us.
going to be for the? Am I going to watch in person as Coleridge, Bernard Stroud throws for like 4 touchdowns, and then we get to the 50 and like turn the ball over on like 3 dumb fumbles? Oh my god! Let's talk about that for next week. My
Yeah, that's
my
next week.
anxiety's my anxiety's
I will
doing hell.
bring back Hunter too next week
Oh
because
my
it's gonna
god!
be it's a complete 180 compared to how it first started when we
Yes,
first talked to him to where
and then it's going to be full pessimist.
and where
Oh
he's gonna
man,
be full like full on confident, which I don't blame him. Your rookie quarterback is cooking with Noah Brown and a 5'5" rookie slot receiver who's fair play. They're both
I
good.
I
They're good,
I
good,
can't
they're
hate
good.
on Tank Dell too much because he has the same birthday as me. So
Oh
I'm like,
man.
is this the curse? Like watching a good player for a rival, just like, oh, we'll talk about the Texans later. But
It's just
I just
frustrating. They beat Burrow and the Bengals, who are like one of the hottest teams like us, and we both two of the hottest teams just go out and lose. It's just like okay, okay.
it's just very. I don't. I know like the coaching staff must just be like shaking their head at like why do these turnovers keep happening? Because I know they emphasize like every team in the NFL obviously emphasizes ball security, but it's like at a certain point when is there going to have just a turnover free game? That's all I'm asking for. Just like one more game, like no dumb turn, no fumbles, no anything. It's just something happens every single week and it's just like you can't really plan for it. You can't try to coach it out. It's just like execution thing. And it's not even so much the players aren't talented. That's the frustrating part. Like even the Saints game when Kirk
Mhm.
had that fumble. It was in enemy territory. Kirk had another fumble again near the red zone. And I'm just like, it's just basic execution level plays. And I'm just wondering, like, why is this? Why are we getting the dumb turnovers for a team that does not have bad coaching and it does not have bad talent? Like, it just feels like there's some urban stench left around that we just can't get rid of.
I mean, it depends who you talk to when he talks about the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we've seen it fall apart before in Philadelphia between Doug and Press, and we don't want to be too pessimistic, but I think there was a reason why Press Taylor and Doug Peterson didn't last in Philadelphia. Of course, that's way too,
I mean,
I don't want to call for heads, but it's just like there's a reason why
I,
they didn't stick around in Philly. I
I don't even think I know
Yeah,
people. I know a lot of people are pissed at Press. I mean, given the offensive line, I understand a lot more of why Press is calling like the offense, like Doug and Press as a whole. I mean, obviously Trevor has like one of the quickest times to throw in the NFL for a reason because they don't trust, especially the interior. I think the tackles have played, pretty solid. I mean, when they get beat bad. But in terms of not allowing a ton of pressures, I don't think the turnstiles. It's just like the interior has not really been great all year in terms of rushing and throwing, so they just have to get the ball quick. And I think that just changes so much of like the narrative because there just really hasn't been much of a vertical offense like aspect of this field. I mean, the Steelers game, they're letting it rip a little. Steelers game was I thought that was gonna be like, looking something to look forward to because the
yeah.
Steelers
Because we were dotting them up in the terrible weather, besides like turnovers inside the Steelers territory. Like Trevor had a really good game
I think that was one of his
passing the
highest
football.
yards per attempt. So it's
Yeah.
not like they were getting the ball down the field. Ridley had a good game. Ingram had a catch and run. So it's just so like annoying just watching the same mistakes not get fixed. I mean, I think the dumb turnovers are one thing where that's just like luck. The offensive line is just like, will they actually start to get better? I mean, obviously it was their first game as a whole unit, the full starting five like they envisioned.
Yeah.
So hopefully they play better next week. I mean, they can't play much worse.
Yeah,
But
I don't think they bench Walker Little after just one game being back in the lineup from injury. Then you have to face that front seven. I think that's not fair to him. But if he has another stinker, then you have to think about, Ezra Cleveland, you just got him here, but he was playing well before he got moved here to Jacksonville. And then Fluke Fortner, or Fortnite
did
as
you
he likes
say
to call it.
fluke? Did you say fluke
I
for?
said Luke, but
I
Fluke
heard fluke.
Fortnite.
No, you
Fluke
said fluke.
Fortnite. All right, fine.
Fluke
Fluke
Fortnite.
Fortnite. We're gonna combine our little nicknames. We'll call him Fluke Fortnite. To If he just
Fluke
continues to
Fortnite.
stick it up on the center, you might want to think of putting a veteran like Shatley in there, but they're not going to. I don't know why I think about it, but it's been talked about on the timeline by a couple people, so it's just food for thought. But you also don't want to keep moving around the offensive line, so it's kind of in a lose
You
lose type of
want them to
situation.
gel, but even like when they're supposed, I think the most disappointing player is just like Fortner. I'm not gonna say he hasn't had any good moments at all, but it's just seeing him struggle with the same thing of just him just not being strong enough to anchor sometimes, and just watching kind of the same issues just rear its head after head. I'm like like Scherf, he's banged up, he's a vet. Like I can handle him being like a little bit up and down because of all the injuries I had to deal with. And I'm not saying Fortner's like 100% healthy because in the NFL, no one's 100% healthy. Like, everyone gets dinged up no matter what. But it's just, Fortner's been there for almost like a year and a half now. And I don't say he hasn't gotten any better, but his biggest weakness has still been his biggest weakness. So I don't know if the coaching staff can try to scheme around it in any like a better way, if this is just like a by year 3 or year 4 he's going to, I don't know, just be a lot stronger. It's just it's just annoying because like you said, this team is still 6-3. Like this team could be playing so much better, and even in the games they're not playing great, they've been able to win most of them.
Yeah.
It's just when everything goes to shit, everything goes to complete shit.
It's like when we lose, it feels like the worst loss ever. But losing by 31 in the NFL is not a good loss. We've seen that so many. It's like, oh my god, we finally got over it, and then we have a loss like we're back in 2020 or some shit. It's just like, oh
It
my
just feels like the
god.
urban stench has
Yeah,
just not
21,
left.
yeah. Or just like the by God, it was homecoming game. You didn't have to bring back the last decade plus of pain along with homecoming. Like,
That's
yeah,
what
that was
God.
like I was telling that with
Home.
my friends. Yeah, homecoming game. They brought back the pain and suffering along with it. Like, oh my God. Maybe they shouldn't
Yeah,
bring back the throw. No, bring back the throwbacks, but do not like. You
I
don't
don't know
have
if
to fucking. You don't have
only
to do
if yeah,
that.
just bring out the 19. Don't bring out any throwbacks like that throwback material after 2000. Just strictly 96 through 99 throwbacks and just keep it like that, and we'll win every game. It's not the Titans game, but that's hopefully we break
Don't
the
worry for
streak.
Tennessee. Yeah, exactly. Just don't worry for Tennessee. Or do. I'm not the uniform people. I'm not the equipment managers, but I don't know. It's frustrating. We're on to Tennessee, and since we broke our only two-person streak, as long as this winning streak happened, we're gonna finally have a guest. I'm excited. We're gonna get John Shipley from the Jaguar Report.
Woo woo! Big fan of the
Uh
pod.
Yeah, big friend of the pod. Always encourages us. So that's gonna be great. Hopefully, we're not as depressed as I am right now by the time we hit Thursday, which is our tentative recording day. We're gonna have two pods in a week. We haven't done that in a while.
We'll try to
So
make it up for
yeah.
disappearing, but also the Jags need to make it up to us for disappearing on the field. So
It's all on them and it's all on us to try to stay motivated because that was the dog shit. It's funny. It's like we were in such good vibes throughout the week. It's just that why did Sunday have to happen? But it's a humbling experience for the Jaguars. It was a humbling experience for us. At least you didn't get to see it. I had to see it like, like somebody fucking stabbing my mother in front of me like 20 times. It
it's
it just it was just the bad.
at least the weather wasn't as bad as the Chiefs game.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
no.
Chiefs game was a close. Like Chiefs game was a better loss, but everyone it was just miserable heat watching that. The weather was nice, so we just watched us get shit on
I
even
know.
more.
Is the sun just never showed up, and it still hasn't shown up since
Sunshine
then.
never showed up.
Oh,
Sun,
I mean,
sunshine never showed up. That's what happened.
oh boy. You can really take a lot from this. Anything else you really want to talk about? This is very depressing. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I, I'm just in like a wait and see mode. Like I still have faith in the long term outlook of this team. Like I don't think this
Yeah.
team is, you know, even just I just compare it to last year when we were after the bye week last year, and
Yeah, it
especially
was
after like I remember the Lions loss was not great. It's different because Lions is on the road versus at home, but that was a very humbling loss.
that's the worst thing. We have two games now at home where we didn't score a fucking touchdown. And it's like, guys, we're at home. We're trying to be loud for you, and you fucking pull this shit off. I don't want to hear no, oh, we gotta take time. Wait, no, we want to see you guys win here. At
So
least
I
like
either there's either
uh,
two outcomes. Either we're blowing the Titans out or we're losing another stink. I guess I can't see another in between. Either this team is just going to come out firing on all cylinders, or it's just another like just stinker game, or either like winner either we're having a zero turnover game or like a four turnover game. We could still win the four turnover game because like it's the Jags, so like we could end up winning like I don't know 20 to like 13 versus the Titans, but just leaving so much meat on the bone. Or we just like finally have a clean game, no turnovers. Trevor throws for like 300, 3+ touchdowns. I can't see any in between. It's like either we're playing like completely terrible and we could maybe still win, or just like playing our absolute best heading into Houston. So I don't know, man. It's a very interesting time, but we're still 6-3. So the important thing is the sky is not falling. We have a Super Bowl winning head coach who knows to go through adversity. I mean, the man lost starting quarterback and was still able to win a Super Bowl. So it's even if the record isn't as great as it could be this year, which I still think we have a good shot. Like long term future, I'm not throwing a red flag. It's just a matter of when will the Jags just not make stupid turnovers? That's literally all I'm asking for. If I could just get one turnover free game, just one. Just clean game. No, I don't even think Trevor. I feel like with Trevor's interceptions, it's either like a dumb, like either a really bad mistake trying to play hero ball, which sometimes the two are kind of related, but just like most of the times, Trevor is not a turnover prone quarterback. It's just like whenever it happens, like whenever he tries to do too much, that's when it can happen. But just play a clean. Trevor play a clean game. Just receivers, hold on to the football, please. I'm begging you. Whether it's Kirk or Agnew or whoever, just hold on to the football, please. I think the worst part is that like Trevor, I mean ETN last year had a fumbling issue, and this year has been great with fumbles, and we still turn the ball over. It's just so that's so Jags. So I don't know, man. I'm not. The sky is not falling. I'm just,
We're
we
all
better
frustrated. It's
we
just
better get
one
on our
week, yeah.
p's and q's because Houston is looking to, be serious. Taking, I said before the year, like Houston was a team that worried me the most, like long term. But now in the short term, I'm like, shit, like we better.
Everything's connecting so quickly for them because they got a quarterback that seems to be, trying to, take that step. So we'll see. Like I said, that's a week ahead. We got Tennessee. We'll talk to Shipley about how the Titans are. I mean, they haven't looked too good since that one game against Atlanta.
But
So we want to
also,
see
it's
what's going on. But again, it's our most field rivals, and they always play us close, no matter what.
like
So
I said, it's either because of this loss, you're playing like a terribly sloppy game, where the Jags are going to come out and just like beat the like just gonna choke the Titans up for 60 minutes. I can't see any other option, and that's why I'm like kind of scared. Because either I'm gonna drive up and it's going to be like a fumble on the first drive or a 60-yard touchdown on the first. I can see no in between. And that's exactly why I hate the Jags. I hate
yeah.
this team.
Well, let's hope it's the latter for our sakes.
I just traded for CJ Stroud in fantasy, and Trevor is
Oh
now on the
man,
bench. So now I'm expecting for
Stroud to
Trevor to
stink it
throw.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, the first game I'm gonna start Stroud is gonna be like 0 of 2. He's gonna like no touchdowns, 3 picks, and then gonna put him on my bench. Like, Trevor's gonna go off like 400 yards, and I'm going to be like, this is why I hate fantasy football. So
I
if
don't want your fantasy team to lose, but for for sentimental
I will
sake,
take the L if I have to, because I don't want to go into Houston and watch Stroud cook our defense and my fantasy team still wins. I would be like, nope, I'll take it the other way. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I hate this team sometimes, but it wouldn't be a Jag season without some pain and misery. It's
yeah,
just
it's
impossible.
it really is. But thank you, Javalt. Like I said, it's been a it's been a bit of a while. The bye week, we took an extended bye week. The Jags
So did
did
the Jags.
too. We're back though. For better or for worse. Let's see how the rest of the season goes. Please stop the pain. Please stop the pain. We'll
After
see you
after
again.
one after one loss, please stop the pain.
Just one loss. It feels like the sky's not
Pessimistic.
falling yet. It's like god damn it, stop
When you
it.
have years of pain and
Yeah,
misery, it only takes one bad loss to bring the pain back. So I can't even say I'm surprised really.
it's just so stupid sometimes. It is what it is though. We're on to Tennessee. We're on to the Titans. Fuck the Titans. Uh, like I said, we'll talk to Shipley later on this week. And whoever's still watching, thank you very much. It's hard to keep smiling. It's just a good time to talk to my friend, and hope for the best because it was not pretty last week, and we're finally getting to able to vent about it. So, Javal, I'll see you Thursday. Thank you for being on the call with me as always, and talk to you soon.
We're in the jagged edge and listening to our pain and misery. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.